I'm making a colony simulator game inspired by Rimworld but made in 3D, and in this video I will show you everything I've built so far. After creating a new project in Unity, the first thing I worked on was a world generation system. The main idea behind this is to create world made of tiles, where each tile is 1 by 1 square. And to make it work, we need to generate a quad for each tile on the map. With the mesh generator ready, it was time to apply textures, but there was a problem. Since everything is one mesh, I couldn't assign materials per tile, so I used Texture Atlas and adjusted the UV sync code. After getting the texture selecting working, I added Perlin noise to randomly determine where stone should appear with dirt around it. So the next step was raising the surface wherever stone was generated, and for that I simply raised every stone tile by 1 unit on the y-axis. As you can see, the stone is raised, but it doesn't connect to the rest of the map, so now we have to generate walls. The logic behind generating walls is pretty simple. For each raised tile I check tiles next to it, and if any of them is not raised, I generate wall on that side. After that, I also added ability to select tiles. The world is ready, but it's lifeless and empty, so I added bean. This bean will be our colonies for now, and to make it move around the map, I added the A-star pathfinding algorithm, which in our case is pretty simple to implement since the whole map is just a grid. So the A-star algorithm is basically a decision-making loop which constantly asks,
what's the best move right now?
I even added a visualization mode so you can actually see how the algorithm works. After integrating the algorithm into the character controller, you can see that everything works correctly. However, the character moves strictly at 90 degrees angle. It technically worked, but didn't feel natural, so I created a path smoother. It checks for collision between path points, and if nothing blocks the path, the unnecessary point gets removed. This allows the character to move at any angle while still avoiding obstacles. I also implemented a visual indicator for the selected colonies along with a green arrow marker that appears on the tile where the colonies is ordered to move. Once the character movement was working, I added the ability to rise and lower terrain, which will be useful for the next step, which is creating the task manager. The task manager is a system that maintains a list of tasks to be completed, such as building a wall or mining stone, and assigns them to specific colonies. For a task to work properly, it has to define 3 core elements, such as destination, which is a list of tiles the colonies can stand on to perform the task. The second element is execution, which handles work registration, meaning how the colonies contributes progress over time. And the last element is task outcome, which basically defines the result of the task. But defining tasks still isn't enough, because the colonies needs a logic that tells him how to execute them. So I implemented a simple state machine for the colonies, and right now the colonies can be in one of 3 states: idle, moving to a work tile, or actively working. So this structure keeps the execution logic clean and makes adding new task types simple. And with that, the core systems of the colony simulator were finally in place and working together. Anyways, that's all from me. Thanks for staying till the end, especially because it's my first video. And if you enjoyed it, consider subscribing and leaving a like. And see you in the next video.